Here's your Farm and Ranch report from the Montana Ag Network.
As we come back this afternoon for our Farm and Ranch news, farmers and ranchers' working capital is critically low in a new report. That, of course, affirms the sentiment across the countryside as the ag sector is suffering from working capital. It's fallen to critically low levels. That news is from the forecasting firm Economic Insights. The firm recently analyzed data put out by the Economic Research Service saying the declines in working capital are stark. Working capital is projected to fall by 25% from last year to this, and that will be right on the heels of a 30% decline from 2017 through 18. The report said the current level of working capital amounts to just 31% of what was available back in 2014. The firm also said the market facilitation payments are large enough to actively move the needle on financial conditions in the sector. However, they were clearly not enough to rebuild working capital levels that are necessary to give long-term stability and financial stability to the American agriculture sector. Now, staying in that same arena, Politico reported this week for the first quarter of 2019, the default rate of farm loans held by banks hit its highest level in 7 years. 1 in 5 farm borrowers increased the amount of debt they carried over from the prior year in the first quarter, according to the Federal Reserve. And producers are estimated to hold nearly $427 billion in debt this year. That's the most since the 1980s farm crisis. Now looking to wool news, the Australian wool market continues a downward slide. The 2018-19 wool selling season produced another week of losses, following in the footsteps of price reductions experienced during the past 2 weeks. From last week's opening lot, it was immediately apparent that buyer confidence was low, but by the end of the day, we saw that most types of wool were selling 40 to 60 cents below the achieved level at the previous sale. Of course, the Australian market correlates prices here in the United States. USDA reports the 2019 graded wool price for 18.6 to 19.5 microns has fallen from $5.82 in May to $5.42 here in June. Don't go away, we'll have more news right after this. Coming back today, looking to upcoming meetings of the Montana Department of Agriculture. The Agriculture Development Council will meet on Tuesday, July 2nd at 8 a.m. at the Montana Department of Agriculture in Helena. Of course, the Development Council was established to help enhance the future development of ag in Montana. They want to remind producers that their Growth Through Agriculture program is accepting applications, and those will be accepted through the 1st of November 2019. For more, visit the Montana Department of Agriculture online today. And finally, in other events, ranchers need to save the date for the 2019 Public Lands Council annual meeting. The premier federal lands ranching event is scheduled to meet in Great Falls September 25th through the 28th. Since 1968, PLC has actively represented the cattle and sheep producers who hold public lands grazing permits. Now, issues impacting public lands ranching will be at the forefront of the event, with many informative sessions with experts from the West and the nation's capital. For more on the 2019 Public Lands Council annual meeting, just visit them online today and click on their events tab. Visit publiclandscouncil.org today for that information. Well, that's all we have for this afternoon. We'll send it over to the news desk.